Okay, so I am back with another toy review. These are not new for me. I've had these for a while, but it's the X-Men Age of Apocalypse lineup, and I don't think this is everyone that's offered, but it's the majority of them. And I'm actually interested in reviewing this lineup today because I was able to collect all the figures needed to do the Build-A-Figure Colossus, which is very impressive, and you absolutely need him for your collection. If you don't want to collect all the figures to do your own Build-A-Figure, you can look for him online, and we'll get to him in detail, but just I have to start off the video by talking about how impressive he is. But let's take a look at the full lineup, and then we'll look at Colossus last. So the first figure that I kind of want to call to attention is Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey. Now, if you're like me, you kind of got obsessed with collecting all of the Jean Grey figures out there and the Phoenix figures out there. And then after a while, you just start to realize that there's no real point in trying to collect all of them. I'm not a completionist. I just get my favorites. And the Age of Apocalypse Jean Grey is probably one of my least liked renditions of this character. It just seems a little basic. It just seems a little bit, like we have to have a Jean in here, so let's just do a Jean. She's actually minimized in her own box packaging because of the Build-A-Figure piece that comes with her. But, if you're a completionist or you're just a Jean fan, she's definitely one to pick up. So the next person is Shadowcat, aka Kitty Pryde. I got off of eBay and just so impressive. She was I think she was the first figure in the Age of Apocalypse collection that I actually gathered. So I was super happy to get her. And then she comes with these removable claws that just, make her reminiscent of, Wolverine or whatever. And she just looks amazing. Or perhaps you could just think of her as your own X-23. I don't know. But either way, I'm definitely more of a fan of Shadowcat than the Jean Grey figure, as you can tell. And I just think she looks great. Get you a Shadowcat. The next one is everyone's favorite, Cyclops. Now, these aren't the Mafex editions, obviously, but, they're the Marvel Legends. But God, do you really need the Mafex? Do you need to pay more than double the price to get the benefit of having this amazing figure? While the Mafex figure does look good, I'm not going to lie, I just don't know if it's worth the money, the extra money to spend on like a Mafex Cyclops or a Mafex Wolverine. They look good, but they don't look that fucking good. So obviously this is a Marvel Legends Cyclops. Not a fan of the hair, but it is, comic accurate. Not a fan of the coloring either, to be honest. I think the colors are a little bit dull. And that's another point where Mafex shines. They just have better color accuracy. But you definitely need a Cyclops if you're going to go after this wave. He's not bad, but, he's not my favorite. The next one up is Magneto. And I'm just going to stand him up here for a second just so you can see that this Magneto has been almost fully deconstructed. I'm using his second alternate head instead of the head with the mask where he dons his longer hair and he dons, a little bit of those side ponytails. I did remove his cape because I just don't have the space on my riser for it. It would just be, too wide because it's a hard plastic. We really need to do soft goods for these figures. There's no point of having like a big hard cape in 2025. But anyway, he does look good. He is one of my favorites from the line. I do like everything else about him. The little, magnetic powers emanating from his arm. Those are cool. And he just kind of stands there. He's kind of like the centerpiece. I kind of keep everyone centered around him, obviously. And get you a Magneto. And the next up is definitely a figure that can go fucking toe to toe, excuse me, with anything from Mafex. This Wolverine is bad ass. Just the hair, the snarl, the paint job, the detail, just everything. Just that, that amazing, um, just everything you come to expect from a Wolverine figure. And he's got this great body. He's got a great color. Um, and, he's missing his hand here, but the claw still extends. So just beautiful detail. You have to have this figure. Like, even more so than Cyclops. Like, you have to have Wolverine. And he's not that expensive either. He's, sitting around $20 on most retail sites. But don't pay too much for him. And the next one, I just recently got this one. I think I got this one just today. I ordered him a few days ago, but he just came today. AOA Iceman. And I have the other Iceman from like the 90s in a 6-inch figure style. I showed him in a previous video. But this Iceman, I'm actually really impressed. I'm impressed with how he looks. I'm impressed with the articulation. I'm impressed with the way he can stand. Like, he almost looks monstrous. You know what I mean? Like, you can see I have him bent in a way, and he just almost looks like, a monster. But he's definitely a good buy. I'm so happy I got him. Not only for the Build-A-Figure pieces, but just I need him in my AOA collection. And I'll just kind of go for the other few characters that I have really quick here. We have Legion. I was never really a Legion fan. He looks, comic accurate for the most part. I do think he looks a little bit silly when they try to, give him a little bit more realism and everything like that. Like, I know it's not always easy to convert drawn figures to 3D models. So in the sense that it is a challenge, they did a good job on him. But at the same time, I think he just looks a little bit silly, and he loses that comic feel that actually makes him, who he is. So for better or for worse, this is Legion. Again, I mostly got him because of the Colossus Build-A-Figure pieces that I needed. But if you're into it, get you a Legion. You can't hurt. And next we have X-Man. He was not a requirement for the Build-A-Figure pieces, but I did want an X-Man to build out my AOA collection. And so I'm glad I got him. He looks great. The articulation, I did take his vest off. It wasn't too hard, but it was a little bit of a challenge. Great powers emanating from the eyes. And, not too much to say about him, only that he is a good figure. He's a solid figure. So if you're a completionist, or if you're just somebody who, wants X-Man in your collection, pick him up. He's not too expensive. And before we get to Colossus, we have to talk about another prominent figure, Sabretooth. I wanted the traditional Sabretooth with his traditional outfit, but I think I just kind of ended up settling on this AOA Sabretooth because the other one was just like way too much money, and I'm not a big enough Sabretooth fan to spend that much money on him. Maybe in the future if he goes on sale. But this AOA Sabretooth is almost a must-have for your collection. He has a exchangeable head, and I think I've kept this one on the whole time. I think he has exchangeable hands as well. So this one doesn't obviously look as good as the other one, with his mane attached to the collar and the chest. But this is definitely a solid Sabretooth. And if you don't have one, he's much, much more affordable and, worthy of consideration. And without further ado, we have the main show. And I'm serious. This Colossus is completely worth getting the other figures. If you didn't want the other figures, look for Colossus on eBay and somebody just trying to, get rid of their Build-A-Figure because they're not a Colossus fan. I am a huge Colossus fan, and I also wanted to build my AOA collection. So it was a win-win for me. But he is, oh my God, he's amazing. I think he's 8 inches tall or a little bit over 8 inches tall. And I kept the hands that his individual arms come with. I did end up using the tie in the back, and the shoulder pad is removable, but I think he looks better with it. So I kept it on there, and I just put him in this badass pose, and I'm just so happy with him. He just looks so intense, that snarl. And he looks better than the Diamond Select. He looks better than the 2-pack with Juggernaut. Although I am going to have to get a Juggernaut that I can take out of the pack to put them side by side. And this Colossus, oh my God, this Colossus can go up against anybody, anytime. So I'm super happy with him, and you will be too. I'm not going to make this video too long. I just wanted you guys to see my AOA collection. Again, I'm going to be bringing you guys more and more toy reviews, action figure reviews. Some are in-boxed, some are out of the box. And I'm happy to bring you some out of the box figures today. So be cool, and I'll see you next time. Peace.